We're fancy up in here, drinking out of a red solo cup to start this episode. Welcome back to yet another episode of Sippin With Sin, the podcast where we talk about stuff and things and stuff. And I messed up to start with, but you know what? We're gonna roll on because that drink was so good it got me tongue tied. That's right. Welcome back to yet another episode. We got a fun episode in store for you this week. We got some news. We got a movie we collectively watched, not together, not holding hands, not sitting on the couch together with popcorn and milk duds and stuff like that. But we watched it apart at our own residence. It's kind of sad, though. I kind of wish we could have sat together. That'd been, movie style. Maybe put my arm around Christian. But speaking of Christian, let's welcome back to another episode. Welcome back, Christian, our esteemed co-host.
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back for another episode.
I was off in Fantasyland right there, so I had to welcome you and, give you your introduction before I got in Fantasyland, because I was about to talk about how I was going to put my arm around you, kind of mac on you and stuff like that. But then I was like, man, I probably should welcome him back before I start talking about that.
That makes more sense.
So I was talking about what is your go-to candy at a movie theater? I don't know what it made me think of that. Talking about popcorn, I'm weird. I like the chocolate covered Raisinets. I love those.
I mean, it really just depends on what theater I'm in. Like, if I'm in a theater that has it, I'll get the chocolate covered almonds because I don't eat a lot of chocolate in general, but the chocolate covered almonds really hit for me. So I like
the
those.
dark chocolate. That's so good.
No, I'm actually a fan of the milk chocolate, dude. The dark chocolate doesn't do it for me.
Well, you. Oh my God, this is blasphemy. I'm not talking anymore. This episode's over. 2 minutes in and we're done.
But aside from that, I'm a big Sour Patch Kids person, so I like sour stuff. So Sour Patch Kids, if they have sour Starburst or whatever, I like those. But typically, you can always find Sour Patch Kids in movie theaters, so that's usually
Okay. I don't know. A good random question. Listeners out there, what is your go-to snack when watching a cinematic adventure? Whether at home, in the theater, what do you go to? What's your snack? Raisinets are for me. I'm trying to think what Mrs. Sin gets. She's a very big popcorn person, so she always wants popcorn. Like, if we're going to watch a movie, she wants to go the popcorn route. So we tend to do that for her. I'm not huge into popcorn. Like, I'll eat it some, but it's not like one of my snacks I really want to go to. Are you a big popcorn eater?
Yeah, I like salty treats, so popcorn
I'm sure
is definitely
you do.
something about it. But here's the thing is though, obviously it depends. Like if you go to a movie theater and you're getting like the old batch of popcorn, it's gonna be ass, and you're not gonna want that. So if you're getting like the fresh, nice, hot popcorn that was popped recently, like I'm into that, dude. That's what I'm into. Put some butter on there. You don't have to drench it in butter. Well, you know what? Put as much butter as you want to on it, baby. You're at the movie theater. But yeah, man, I'm totally into popcorn. It's my thing for sure.
All right. Well, now that we've got off topic, let's go ahead and do what we do to start every episode, and that's talk about what we've been watching, listening to, playing, or reading lately. It's how we like to kick off every episode. If you're brand new here, welcome. And this is what we do to break the ice and get you going into the episode. So, I guess I'll start. It has been a slow week for me. It has been a lot of doing stuff around the house, trying to pick up Halloween stuff since spooky season's over. Because it is my son's birthday here, time of recording this in 4 days. So we're trying to get ready for like a little first birthday for him, which is a lot of work. And I feel like the missus keeps adding more stuff. So that keeps you busy. But I started a show today, actually, that I'm pretty excited to watch. And it's called Mike. It's on Hulu. It's about Mike Tyson. I'm only a couple episodes in.
I heard about that.
I don't want to talk about it too much, but pretty much it follows Mike Tyson. The actor playing him, dude, is crushing it. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but so far I'm enjoying it. I'm like 2 episodes in. It's kind of hard to watch with a 1-year-old, and it's probably not the best to watch with a 1-year-old because there tends to be some scenes in it. Mike wasn't exactly a Boy Scout, for those that know Mike Tyson, but that dude was a badass boxer. He was a savage. This dude was like a machine. So I'm pretty excited about that. I have watched the show, me and the missus, and I'm going to blame her, although I saw it, and you know what? I'm embarrassed of it, but the hell with it, I'm going to tell you anyways. I watched the show because for some reason, anything to do with like creation space, influencer, things like that tend to get my interest probably because I'm in that space and that's what I do for a living. But the D'Amelios on Hulu, we watched it and it officially rotted my brain as I expected. But I had to finish it, and I will. One thing I'll say about it was, as much as it rotted my brain with like just dumb stuff, I feel like it touched on a lot of mental health issues, and especially people that are on the internet for a living. They deal with a lot of mental health with like keyboard warriors, and just no matter what you do, you're kind of under scrutiny. And so I thought that part of it was interesting, and that's kind of why I kept watching it. But I did watch that, and then I also watched a movie that we will be discussing here in one of our segments. And then I've played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and that's been about it, pretty much. And Overwatch. I've been playing Overwatch. But yeah, that's been about it. Yeah. What about you, Christian? What have you been into?
So for me, I did watch a movie. I watched The Exorcist actually, and man, that's always a fun watch. It's a good time. No alcohol required. For those of you who probably may not have seen the movie, which is crazy to think that there's there haven't seen this film. It is a slow burn. It takes a minute for it to get started, but once it gets started, it doesn't stop. And it's a horror classic, man. So I definitely watch that to keep within the spirit of spooky season, even though it is over. I did watch the latest episode of the Chucky TV series. So I think this is season 2, episode 6 that I just finished. And I mean, what can I say about Chucky, dude? Like this show is ridiculous. Season 2 is definitely way zanier and like over the top than the first season. They're definitely channeling a lot of what we got from Seed of Chucky in this one for the fans of the franchise. But I'm not bored. I will say that I'm not bored at all. I'm still enjoying it. I still want to see what's going to happen next week, and I want to see what Chucky's like ultimate plan is. So that's good. Bored. That's always good to hear in a show. Of course, I've been playing Gotham Knights, and I have been watching some gameplay for God of War Ragnarok. I actually have that game ready to go. I just haven't picked it up yet because I did want to finish Gotham Knights, and I didn't want to start God of War and just stop playing. That wouldn't be fair to Gotham Knights because it is a really fun game, and I'm enjoying it. I like the story a lot, and the gameplay is actually pretty fun. So, like I said, I've been watching some gameplay on Ragnarok. I don't want to get into the gameplay because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But what I can say without ruining it is obviously if you've watched the trailers, you know that there's been some time passed since the first game, uh, and I can say this as well because it's also in the trailers. But they do not disappoint with Thor. I will say that. So I'm super excited to actually get into it myself and die a couple times because I mean I don't know who out there can just play God of War without dying at all, but I am not one of those people. So I'm gonna lose plenty of lives to this game, and I can't wait. And then other than that, I watched the season finale of Interview with the Vampire, Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire that's on AMC Plus. And god damn, man, that that season was fantastic. It's amazing. It's one of the best shows that's on TV. It's up for me. It's up there with House of the Dragon, 100%. It's up there with all the best shows that we've gotten this year. It's short. The episodes are well acted. It's well directed. It looks amazing. I need season 2 injected directly into my veins right now via IV. Like it's fantastic. If you haven't watched it, find a way to watch it. Interview with the Vampire is fantastic, and I love the changes that they made. And they have like at the last episode, we had this moment where one of the characters for the fans of the show, we were thinking that this character was somebody from the books, and then we get this reveal. So like, man, I can't praise the show enough. It's fucking dope, and you should be watching it. So been watching, playing, doing over the course of this time. And aside from that, I've been sketching. I'm thinking about drawing the Ninja Turtles. I haven't drawn Ninja Turtles like, well, I've only drawn them like twice. And I think I did like individual turtles, and this was years and years and years ago. So I'm gonna try and do that. But other than that, man, that's all I've really been up to this week. It's been a busy week.
All right. Well, before we get into our first segment or first topic, we have brief news. Both of us have a few things to talk about on news front. The first one I have is actually in the gaming creating space. Meta or Facebook Gaming laid off 11,000 employees. CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced the layoffs in a letter to employees Wednesday. Time of recording this would have been the 9th, November 9th, I believe. Citing declines in the company's revenue and wider problems in the technology sector. As someone who created content and streamed on Mixer, this is a little troubling and deja vu. Mixer did stuff kind of like this where at one point employees just kind of got laid off. People were going, and then it seemed like not long after that they were like, hey, here's a tweet, by the way, we're shutting down. I don't know. I don't think Facebook Gaming is shutting down just because Facebook makes a lot of money. I don't really know what to expect with them. They shut down the app the start of October, and now pretty much they're making everyone, instead of having a separate gaming app, it was already integrated where you could go through the Facebook app to see gaming and stuff like that. Now pretty much they're just keeping everybody on one app instead of two. Makes sense. Plus the app was buggy. It does kind of suck because some people really liked the app, and it was really handy, but I don't know. A little concerning. Hopefully it's not deja vu. And we'll see what happens there. But it honestly, it would not shock me if they pulled the plug and were like, hey, it's not making enough money. Or they sold the gaming to somebody. I don't know how that would work or who would get it. But, yeah. So there's that news in the gaming space. I don't know if it has anything to do with competition from TikTok. I know they are really pushing the Reels, Facebook Reels and stuff like that, and Instagram, trying to push that to compete, kind of like YouTube is pushing Shorts, the short term or short form content. So I don't know if that's one of it. I don't know, but I know they're pushing those, as are everybody, to compete with TikTok. But there's that in the gaming space. We have that news. Also in gaming space news, we have Gears of War had its 16th anniversary recently, and they announced there is a live action video or live action movie coming to Netflix. No cast or anybody's been announced. They also announced an adult animated series coming to Netflix as well. So that's pretty interesting. Pretty excited for this. Hopefully they do it justice. I know Dave Bautista has been rallying and petitioning to be Marcus Phoenix for a while, and I actually just saw a tweet while recording this where he again is like, hey, it's an easy choice. I'm Phoenix. Like, pick me. I'm Marcus. So I'm actually okay with that. I'll take Batista as him. Kind of looks the part already, and I think he could do it. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it doesn't go the route of the Halo series, I hope. But since it's on Netflix, surely not, because Netflix tends to do pretty decent. I hope it's gory, because that is just like Gears of War, the game. Everything is very visceral, very gory. It's kind of what made me fall in love with it in the first place. People just getting blown apart. It's awesome. So hopefully it's like that. It is. I think it could be a really good story. I don't know. I almost wish it was a show over a movie, honestly. Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff they can talk about, unless they plan on doing multiple movies, that I feel like a show would have benefited it more. But I could be really wrong. So we'll see how they do it. Do what?
Let me ask you a question. So
Whoa.
talking about like Facebook gaming and whatnot, like
okay. Yeah. So we were talking about Gears of War, but okay.
Okay, so I'm going back
Okay.
going back to Facebook gaming because I just thought about something. Like when they announced that, I saw that there were a lot of content creators that like got on the bandwagon for that and kind of joined the team, and they signed contracts essentially saying that they were going to play everything via Facebook gaming and not Twitch. And I think the contract was for a year. It might have been a little bit longer than that, but I know for a fact it was a full 12 months. And it seems like after most of the big name people who were in gaming on Twitch had their contract end for Facebook gaming, they went immediately back to Twitch. Because I actually know a few of those people just from following them on like YouTube or whatever, and seeing that happen. And with Whatnot coming up, and then the partnerships with Whatnot, and then using Twitch to stream your stuff from Whatnot and all that, it kind of seems like the marketplace for Facebook gaming just kind of dropped drastically. So do you think that some of that has anything to do with it? Just a lot of the content creators only having a small contract with them for like a year or two, and then once that ended, like everything else just kind of died because they went back to Twitch. Do you think that Twitch has to do with the downfall of Facebook gaming?
I think Twitch is the mainstay right now. Twitch is what kind of started this whole live streaming thing. Justin TV going into Twitch, and they're like the forefather. They've been what's been around. They have Amazon backing them, all that stuff, and then you have the people trying to compete. YouTube, right, is a pretty good. I think YouTube has a pretty good chance to rival them. Some of the stuff is still weird on how to get to a live stream on YouTube to me. But YouTube has some money to spend. Do what?
Say that last part again.
It's kind of weird to get to some of the live streams occasionally on YouTube. I think it's getting a little better, but there for a while it was like you had to go through a couple of hoops to get there. Kind of like Facebook, which makes it not as easy as maybe like Twitch and stuff. Facebook. So those contracts, a lot of times it's money that alleviates stress. With those contracts and stuff, you get money that helps. It's guaranteed money instead of having to, worry about the month to month, week to week, all that stuff. Facebook's problem, and I'm partnered with them, is I feel like they don't listen to feedback. They are behind on features. Like they have the ability to gift subs now, but it's not as flushed out as like Twitch. A lot of the features Twitch has, Facebook's kind of playing catch up trying to get. And even then, a lot of it doesn't always work right. Notifications don't work right. There's just a lot of stuff that doesn't work right. And also, a lot of the people that come over, I'm going to use King Galathan, Goth, as a reference. He was on Twitch. He had a pretty good, substantial following. Signed a deal with Mixer. Come over to Mixer, after Ninja and all them. When Mixer shut down, instead of going back, because he got his contract, whatever paid, instead of going back to Twitch and stuff, he wanted to try to help the gaming space because competition ultimately is what's going to make any of the platforms better. Because if they're just sitting there with nobody competing, they're not going to give a damn. So he wanted to go try to help, Facebook grow and build, kind of like he was doing Mixer. He went over there, and his numbers on average, a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. His contract run up, I think it was a 2-year deal maybe. It ran up several months ago, and he announced he's going back to Twitch. He was on Twitch, he's averaging, 3K, I'll say 2-3K probably, usually, maybe more. There at first he was getting way more. So, that shows the numbers aren't there as much. And they push, I feel like weird games get pushed. If you don't play like Warzone or something, and even then it's kind of saturated. Like there's certain games that get pushed more than other games. And I feel like there's not really a directory as much for games. Like Overwatch, if I went to Twitch right now, it's probably 20,000, 40,000 people. If I go to Facebook, it's maybe 100 in the directory watching. So that's a difference, and that also hurts. Like, because if someone's not playing, Fortnite or Warzone, or if they're a variety streamer, they want to play Gotham Knights, you have a small window, and then it's probably not going to get any new traffic, generally. So that kind of hurts. I don't know. There's this feature stuff. I'm grateful for the opportunity of Facebook gaming, but there's stuff that I'm not crazy about on it. So hopefully that kind of answered.
I think. Yeah, that helps a lot because it seems a lot to me like obviously it's gonna go down. Like it's gonna go down. There's no way it's gonna stay up. It's gonna have the same kind of thing as Mixer. And the other thing is like these kind of things happen all the time. You get companies like this that have a following already. Everybody's grandmother is on Facebook, so you try to stream off of that.
And you
But
would think it's the
Facebook
largest
wasn't
social media thing in the world. So I mean,
right.
if done right with reels and post and streaming, you should be able to like have like a very broad spectrum to pull from and get traffic. It just doesn't always work that way. And some people, it could be so your real name gets used. Um, there's things that some people just don't like on it. I'm trying to bring up. I was going to compare numbers from you. Hopefully, there's nothing like playing in the background. I don't think there is. Okay. So, for example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 right now on Twitch has, time of recording this, 102,000 viewers. On Facebook, it has 3.6K viewers. So that shows you the difference. Overwatch 2, 48.1K on Twitch compared to, where is Overwatch 2? I lost it. I don't even see. Overwatch 2 has nobody actually streaming it at the moment. No viewers.
Oh.
Like in the highest, I see like weird mobile games get crazy views on Facebook, which is weird to me. Dota 2's got 2.4K. Like it's just.
Well, I mean, that's kind of where people are playing those types of games. It seems like for me, like when people.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Christian? We might have lost Christian again. Christian's having some technical difficulties. Just to further compare, let's see, Warzone, which is, like I mentioned, is something that I feel like really gets pushed on Facebook. 6.3K. And then if I look on, I lost Warzone. There's Modern Warfare 2. If I look on Twitch, I'm seeing like everything but it. All right, hold up. Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone has 17.2K viewers right now. So,
Insane.
oh, he's back. He has returned. He sounds like a robot, but he's back.
I don't know, dude. I think there's probably like power outages out here or something. Because
yeah, I just explained that you were having some technical issues. Okay, but yeah, so I mean, it's a huge difference in viewing stuff over there. I don't know. It's notifications are weird. A lot of times you'll hear people say, "Well, I didn't even know you were live." Like stuff won't get pushed out. There's just some issues. I don't know. I will say this about Facebook: they have, and this is something they've done for over a year now, and I think it's going on until next year. But they pretty much, if you subscribe to a creator on there on, I think it's desktop. I don't know that mobile does it, but Facebook's not taking a cut. They're not taking their percentage of the subscription. The entire subscription is going to the creator to try to help creators over there. So that's pretty
nice
cool.
at least.
Yeah, I mean, that hurts their bottom line, but it's helping creators, and I think it's also to try to keep creators there to help them. But I mean, I haven't seen, which I didn't start from like the beginning. I've been over there, Mixer shut down probably 2 years ago. I've been there around 2 years, but I also stream on Twitch. I diversify because I kind of learned my lesson from putting all my eggs in one basket and then losing everything I had gained and then all that. So yeah, but
yeah, that's fair. Well, I guess we can move on.
Do you have any thoughts on the Gears of War movie? I was talking about it, and also I mentioned in the time of recording this, Batista, who has been rallying to be Marcus Phoenix forever, literally posted yet another tweet like minutes ago, being like, "It's an easy choice. Like pretty much pick me. I'm Marcus."
I mean, this is what I think. I'm just going to be honest real quick. Do I think Batista's the right choice for this because he's the best acting choice? No, absolutely not. Absolutely
You
not.
don't really have to be a good actor for this, though.
But that's what I'm getting into. You really just need somebody who's enthusiastic about the shit, who can fit the mold for it, and that's just easy marketing. That's super easy marketing. He can market the shit himself. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that follows Batista, myself included, could just literally learn everything they need to know about the show or the movie directly from him because they're following him. They can treat him as though he were Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right? Everybody's looking at The Rock towards what they need to see for or Black Adam, and Black Adam made a bunch of money, even though it's not the best movie in the world. It is straight up a popcorn action flick that probably should have came out in the 2000s, right? The earlier 2000s. But because The Rock has been on this shit for years, and because he is who he is, people came out, they went to go see that shit. And the ratings for it aren't the best ratings, but people showed up and it made some money. So they could, they got more stuff going on with that. So that's cool. But as far as him being Marcus Phoenix, like, is anybody in Hollywood saying no? Like, it's just one of those things where
I mean,
how many people are out there
it's kind of,
are really trying to be this character?
I mean, you don't have to like bring an Oscar-worthy actor to be Marcus. He's kind of like The Witcher. Like, there's not a lot of lines he's gonna say. He's gonna grunt. He's gonna be pissed off. And he's gonna shoot shit and just be like action,
Well, you know
like
what?
a big body. So I mean,
think
that plays into Batista's role pretty damn well.
I think you just put your foot in your mouth right there, though, because you used The Witcher as an example.
Because he
Here's the
doesn't do a
thing:
lot of like.
how
Okay,
many
I like Henry
people,
Cavill's a better actor than Batista for sure.
how many people are fucking pissed and thinks that Netflix is taking a major L because he has stepped down from being The
That's because he
Witcher?
was
He stepped
awesome
down
at
from
it.
being Geralt of Rivia.
But what I'm getting at is Batista, like, it's not a lot like a role with a lot of lines and a lot of like emotion.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's an adaptation, so you know they're gonna change it. You know that Marcus is gonna have hella speaking roles.
Something
They're
I
gonna
brought
go
up.
into
Do
his
you think I'm kind
backstory a
of
lot.
so as excited as I am for it to be a film? I almost think it should have been a show, a Netflix
I'm
show,
confused as to why it's a movie. Like I expected it to be a show. They
because
need
there's so
another
much content.
thing.
There's so much stuff to talk about. You can talk about before Emergence Day, before like the locusts and shit come. That's why I don't understand why it's a movie. I feel like we're gonna rush that unless it's like Gears of War 1 maybe, and you do like a quick, hey, this happened, hey, start in jail or whatever. Other than that, I still think a show would have probably been better, honestly, but
This is what I think they can do to salvage it, because it's not broken or anything yet. But we've seen video game movies and we've seen most of them fail. So this is what I think they can do. take take a page from Marvel, kind of. What I mean by that is make this movie a special. Make this movie the backstory for Marcus Phoenix and Dom while they're in jail. Like do that stuff in this movie. It doesn't have to be awfully long. It could be a 50-minute special like Werewolf by Night. It could be a full on hour.
they
It could
won't
be
do
an
it.
hour and 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It could be an hour and a half, 90 minutes. You don't need more than 90 minutes to tell this story. And then after that, just see what those views are like. Then green light us a series that tells the actual story of the games, because that's what the people want to
Which they
see.
do have a
Myself
series
included.
coming. They have an adult animated series coming.
But that's the thing. They got an adult animated series coming out, but I'm thinking like live action, like that. That's an easy win, bro. That's an easy win.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought too. I don't know.
Animation, though, here's the thing: if they do it
But can you
animated, they'll
afford
tell the
Batista for a
story
series, though?
better.
Which, I mean, I don't know how much the pay difference would be for a series. Which, he's not like he has a ton of work. He's staying pretty busy, though. But, I mean, he's not like The Rock, I don't think. Like,
The thing is this. Here's the thing: regardless of what Batista is doing, he's gonna be living off of that Marvel money for a little bit. So he ain't
yeah,
hurting right now. He lives in
true.
Florida. He's good to go. He's not gonna be hurting for anything. All he needs, if they do this animated, all they need to do is take their time, make sure the animation is smooth, use the studio
Well,
that
no, he's
did
live action, though, right?
Castlevania. I don't know, but I'm saying
If
if they do it animated,
if you do anime, I think you should do the same voices.
and make sure that you take the time to do it, and then he can do the voice acting however he wants. All he has to do is come in and like really be angry, essentially, because that's pretty much Marcus's character, and just do it right. Just take your time, do it slow, do it right. Give us a good episode count, and then go from there. But like I said, I didn't look it up too much, so I
Surely
couldn't
you
tell
cast him
you.
for both, right? If you cast whoever Marcus is for the movie is also going to do the voice for the animated, right? Like, that would make sense if you're announcing both of them together.
It's Netflix, so it's probably going to be different people for every fucking episode. We don't know.
And also, I'm mad about The Witcher too because I really like him as as The Witcher, but yeah, it is what it is. I think DC laid down the law on that one, is what I feel like. DC was probably like,
I mean, I
"You're
have
my
no idea.
Superman
I have no
now.
idea.
No more Witcher stuff. No more random fuck and stuff like that."
I doubt that's what they said. I think the way that his contract is set up, he just wouldn't have time to film The Witcher because they film in different parts of the world, and that I don't know what that schedule is like, especially post COVID. So who knows? It's probably a lot easier for him to take a couple months out and film like a movie than it would be to
Dude,
constantly
ratings are
have
about
the
to
show to do.
plummet on The Witcher, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it season 4 is when dude starts?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch. Season 3 will be like really good ratings. Everybody want to see him. Season 4, everybody's going to be pissed. Like, I don't think they could
Well,
do
we already
anything to
got that
make people
season.
happy. Like, when it comes out, they're just going to bitch. No, even if dude kills it and it's great, they're still going to be pissed.
Wouldn't you though? Like, I mean, anybody would be because you're changing the main
Yeah, I
character.
mean,
He's
how
literally
many
the
seasons did
face
they
of
say they
the
were doing
series.
initially? Didn't they say it was a bunch?
What do you mean?
Like, didn't they already say that they were going to do a bunch of seasons of The Witcher?
No, they didn't get greenlit They didn't get the green light to do a bunch of seasons. They get greenlit like once the season comes out, so they know that they can do another one because the ratings are good. So they already
Yep.
have their 3 seasons right now. But Henry Cavill stepped down to be Superman, so we'll have this newer season with Liam. And like I said, Liam isn't the best actor in the world. Henry's not the best actor in the world either, but he fully embodied that character. Plus, he like gave a shit. He was a fan of the books. He's a fan of the games, and I know that they're doing a lot of stuff that divulge from the games, from the books, because what's the story is mainly from the books. So they're divulging a lot from that. He had a lot of problems and issues with it, and now he just has the legs to stand on to back away and not do it anymore. And I think that that's fine for him. It sucks for the fans of the show, myself included, but Netflix has been taking the L's left and right. They've been putting out trash. Let's call a spade a spade. They've been putting out trash. So they're gonna have to do something here soon because once Stranger Things is completely over, then like they got nothing. So
Sandman. Don't hate on Sandman. Quit talking shit.
oh yeah, Sandman did get get greenlit for season 2. But like that's the other thing though. These are shows that come out so far in between each other that by the time you get the next season, half of your clientele's already deleted the app. They don't have your service anymore.
Then they'll
Now they're getting ready to
resubscribe.
do the service with ads in it, and the prices are always changing. They're always going up and shit. So like Netflix used to be the streaming app that everybody had, and now that's not the case anymore. So they gotta get people to keep coming back to watch their shit. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, just make it like cable and put episodes out each week and blah blah blah." And I was like, "No, the reason why Netflix became what it is because you could binge shit. People that fucking work every day that aren't home a lot, you can watch all of the shit you want on your off day, and then you're good. Like that was the whole point. Binging all the shit you wanted to watch
Did you
at
say
that
make it like
time was good
Halo? Is that
because
what you said?
huh?
What'd you say? Make it like Halo?
No, I didn't mention Halo at all.
Oh, I was about to. Ooh.
I was just saying that people who complain about binging a series are essentially content creators, right? You have people that are online that talk about that talk about a show that came out like the
I don't know. I
Dahmer
like
show,
binging
right?
stuff. I like it all to come out because then I know, like, well, there's my weekend, or that's what I'm watching for the next however many days or week. Like, we don't have
Well,
to
yeah, but
wait.
I'm saying though, if you're somebody who's making videos for YouTube all the time, and all of that traction,
Oh,
talking
gotcha.
about a show, talking about an episode, talking, all this is getting people to look at your shit, then people are like, why don't you just make it like cable? And it's just like, if you want everything to be like cable, why don't you just have cable? That's not the point of the streaming services. And then now that you have pretty much every streaming service that exists now that has ads on it, what the only benefit to streaming a show as opposed to watching it on regular ass TV is you get to choose when you want to watch it, but you still get to watch it with all the ads included. So That's the only difference. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Like I said, the only people who really want that kind of shit are content creators and influencers, because those are the people who get to make money off of the content. So if you have a show that comes out and you got 8 episodes in your season, that means you got 8 weeks of people making tons of videos about the same bullshit, the same information that everybody else is talking about, but you make money off of that. So you want those shows to come out once a week so that you can keep making content and keep making money. But people like us who are consuming that content when we have the time, you have kids, you got school, you got work, whatever, travel, all that stuff. If you have to wait till it comes out, most of us just wait until all of it's out. But if you try to wait till all of it's out, it's all spoiled for you all over the internet. So you got to make a choice. Do you try to make time for the show? Do you say fuck the show and just look at the content that's on the internet so you're not spoiled? Or do you just let go of all the stuff from social media and the show and all that until it's completely over and then you hop into it? So it's just weird how that works.
Well, moving on. I don't know. Did we talk about? I don't know what made me think about this, but Silent Hill, the announcements. Did we bring that up?
I don't know if we talked about that or not, so I think you should bring it up.
So Silent Hill, has it been like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks. The time of recording this. They had a big announcement. They announced essentially, I think it's 4 games. 1 remake of Silent Hill 2, which looks awesome, and I can't wait to play. Then there was a multiplayer game, I believe. I think that was like Silent Hill. I can't remember what it was called now. And then there was a new one, and then there was another little. Oh, there was like a interactive something, I think. But the new one is set in 1950s or 1960s Japan, and it's called like Silent Hill F. But I'm so excited. Oh yeah, and a movie. They announced same producer and people coming back from the original Silent Hill movie to do another Silent Hill movie. Not what was the other one called? Was it 3D or Revelations 3D or something? That was
Revelations, yeah.
Yeah, not that one. I think they're just going from the first one to this one. I don't think they're messing with Revelations. But I am a fan of Silent Hill. I love the original Silent Hill. I love the music to that game. That game was creepy as balls with the fog mechanic. I'm excited. I'm excited to play Silent Hill 2. It's a game I've literally played multiple times and I've never beat because I always get sidetracked and then I won't beat it. So I'm excited to play that. And I'm also excited to play the new one because the new one looked crazy. So pretty stoked for that. I'm also stoked for the movie. I'll definitely watch the movie. It made me want to watch the other Silent Hill movie. I will say this on record. I think the Silent Hill movie is probably the best video game adaptation live action movie I've seen. Not to say it's perfect, but when you compare it to like Resident Evil and all the other stuff that's come out, other stuff makes me mad. Makes me mad. Very angry.
I get that.
Like we won't even talk about Halo. I hope Last of Us is good. That was announced, I think January 15th of 2023 is when that comes out. I'm super stoked for that. They better not screw that up. And then let's roll it into kind of a short segment. Not a lot to talk about. Christian already kind of brought it up, but I wanted to talk briefly on God of War Ragnarok. Time of recording this, it released yesterday, and it is getting, to no one's surprise, I think people would be surprised if it got bad reviews based on how God of War 2018 is and how strong the following for those games are. But God of War 2018 was leaps and bounds above any of the other ones. Ragnarok has got on IGN a 10 out of 10, Metacritic at 94%, and IMDb 9.9 out of 10. It's getting fantastic reviews across the board. Game of the Year contender, as everyone expected. I have not got to play it yet. I'm very excited to play it. I'm actually going to play it off stream so I can enjoy it at my own pace without having to try to entertain. I can just get immersed in the world. I've avoided watching anybody play, so I'm avoiding a lot of streamers that are playing it because pretty much everyone's playing the game currently. Rightfully so. But I cannot freaking wait because I've heard people say everything is just fantastic on it. It's as good as we wanted, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. 2018 was a fantastic game. 2018 was so good. That God of War, just reimagining, reinventing the series, going from Greek mythology to Norse. It was so. I don't know. You played it recently, didn't you? 2018.
Yeah, I actually just played and beat that game this year for the first time, and it was fantastic. And what I've seen from the new one, I can't fucking wait. I'm super excited, but I'm also okay to wait to play the game, mainly because there's so much to do right now, and with it being the holiday season, it's not a good time for me to be devoting all of my time to playing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting mainly because I went to the store and the physical copies are sold out because I'm getting the physical copy of it because I can. So you can deal with that, listeners, because I want to own it. But yeah, I don't have it yet, but I'm avoiding people playing it because I want to go in with no spoilers, which is going to be pretty damn hard to do, but I think I can do it. And then just enjoy it. And the missus is even excited to watch it. She wants to watch the story. And yeah, I can't wait. But that's really pretty much all we have from there. Unless Christian has anything else he wants to talk about God of War. There's not a lot because I know we're, like I said, avoiding spoilers. If you haven't played 2018 God of War, do it. Like, just do it. It's fantastic. Like, it's a great game. Great action scenes, great story, beautiful graphics, beautiful world. Yeah, just play it. But we ready to talk about our main topic?
Oh,
And I say main topic, it's really probably not a lot about it. We've kind of been rambling this part, but we both watched the movie this week, and sadly we didn't watch it together. We already talked about this. It's sad, sad face emoji. But we watched the movie as kind of like homework to talk to you guys about, and that's a movie that come out on. It's in theaters, Christian.
not anymore. It's out of theaters.
It
now,
was in
now
theaters
it's,
though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Earlier this year.
Okay, so it's streaming on HBO. Barbarian. We both watched it. Fun story. It was already on my to-do list to watch and something I was already planning to watch. But my in-laws, who are not huge horror people, but my father-in-law he started deep diving in horror during Spooky Month and was talking to me about it. And so, like, obviously I was like, telling different horror things and we talk about stuff. He went on, I don't know why, but he went on like a horror spiral. And he messaged the missus and was like, hey, watch The Barbarian, you're welcome. And I was like, wait, he watched that? So once I watched it, it made even more sense because like, wow, I'm surprised you watched that. But Barbarian, Bill Skarsgård's in it, soon to be Nosferatu. For those that don't know, he was also Pennywise. And he was...
He's also going to be in John Wick Chapter 4.
Yes, he is. That actually excites me. Is he the main bad guy in John Wick? Because I think he is.
I don't know. I watched the
Which there's
trailer
a
earlier.
shit ton of bad guys in John Wick. That's how it goes. But
Yeah, I mean, everybody that's not John Wick is pretty much a bad person.
Yeah.
So.
God, the missus hates that movie, but I love those movies. I love them. They're so good.
Let me give you guys the rundown on Barbarian real quick before we jump.
Hold on 1 second. Bill Skarsgård. I'm drawing a blank. I was gonna say he's Pennywise, but also for those probably a lot of people have not watched it. Hemlock Grove. I'm drawing a blank on his character's name. Christian, help me out.
In which thing?
Hemlock Grove.
I don't remember anybody's name from that show.
Oh my god. Oh, I gotta know now. Bill Skarsgård, Hemlock Grove. What the hell is his name? I actually liked Hemlock Grove. I think I was one of the few people. It got weird though. It went. Wait, is he gonna be in The Crow? What the hell?
He's scheduled to play that character right now, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, whenever I typed his name in, The Crow popped up.
Actually, yeah, I think he is doing that because that movie's in post-production, not pre-production.
Really?
So yeah, he's done that. Yeah.
Huh.
Eric Draven. He's 100% Eric Draven.
Is it? That's interesting. I wonder. Surely shooting went a lot smoother because, man, Crow.
His name was Roman Godfrey, by the way.
Thank you, Roman Godfrey. Okay. I feel better. My world is better now. Okay, do your quick rundown on Barbarian. I had to get that out. Hemlock Grove. I didn't know he was gonna be in The Crow. I personally liked Skarsgård, both Bill and then what is his brother's name?
Alexander.
Alexander, thank you. He was just in Northman. I like both of them. So, yeah. All right, rundown. Get it.
Super quick rundown for Barbarian, by the way. Nothing too big. A young woman discovers a rental home that she has rented is already booked by a stranger. And against her better judgment, she decides to spend the night, but soon discovers that there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house. I can say that I remember this movie. It came out earlier this year. It was recent, actually. It was September. September 9th is when this shit dropped. That's why you were still thinking about it being in theaters.
Yeah, it hadn't been
So
out
that makes
long.
perfect sense. No, not at all. Not at all. It hasn't been out long at all. They pushed it to come out on streaming because of, honestly, probably just because of the spooky season, to be honest with you.
Smart move, though.
Yeah, I mean, and it worked. The movie was made super fucking cheap. It was like $4.5 million. $4.5 million for Hollywood is chump change. So they made that movie on nothing.
And their box
And
office
it
brought in
made
44.4 mil. So
44 point mil.
44.4 million. Jesus Christ, dude. I can't talk. Yeah. Plus whatever HBO paid to bring to the streaming, because I'm sure they had to pay something.
Yeah, for sure. They got to pay in dividends for that, especially to keep it longer than a month. So there's no telling how much they paid for that. And it's not a super long movie either. It's a little over an hour and a half, I want to say. It's worth it. And the only thing I knew about this movie going in, like, I knew nothing. I only knew that Justin Long was in it, and actually that's it. I want to say I knew that Bill Skarsgård was in it, but I forgot because I only saw the trailer for this movie one time, and when I saw it, I think I was getting ready to go to bed, so I don't remember it very well. But I will say, every time I watch a movie, especially a horror film that has Justin Long in it, he always gets fucked up. So I was expecting
He deserved
Justin
it in this
Long
movie, though.
Yeah, man,
he was a piece of shit in this movie. Which
He
was
played a
weird.
total
I didn't
piece of
expect when we were introduced to him, I was like, okay. And then, like, as you start learning more, you're like, red flags, and then you're like, oh, he's literally a piece of shit. Like, there's no denying this dude is a douchebag.
It was hilarious. So, what did you think about the film, real quick?
So I actually liked it. I did like it.
One thing I like. You actually liked it. What does that mean?
It means I knew nothing of it really going in. I'd seen like a brief trailer. I'd heard of it, but I didn't really know much of what to expect. So with that, I was like, not really. It's not like I was setting high expectations. Kind of like a Black Phone, something that has been hyped up to me. I was intrigued with the in-laws messaging because that like sparked my interest even more. I was like, if you guys watched it and you're recommending it, like, what's up with this movie? And other people had seen it and were like, it's not bad. One thing I like about it, I don't know how much spoiler we can go into. I mean, it's on HBO. Can we talk about stuff?
Do whatever you want. It's your show.
This is true. It's my damn show. That's a damn good point. Okay, look. I like, and this is something that Psycho did. I like bait and switches and like misdirecting the audience, and they do a really good job of that. Bill Skarsgård is in it. Bill Skarsgård is generally a bad guy, correct? In pretty much everything he plays. He's a gray area to bad guy. Like, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head where he's been a good guy. Like, anything bigger, he's been a good guy. So you meet him, and you're like, there's something up with this dude. Like, he's not a good person. Well, this movie does a great job of pretty much leading you down there. And I even was kind of calling it, like, I was like, there's several things. The girl, Bill Skarsgård already has the house. The girl, Tess, shows up, and they're both supposed to have the same rental house. Like, they've rented Airbnb or whatever. And he, like, offers her a drink. First thing, horror movie etiquette: if someone offers you a drink, you don't take it, especially from a stranger. In this day and age, you don't take someone's drink that you don't know. So she declined. She's like, no. What?
I was just saying, what she didn't. She didn't take the
Right, yeah. And she refuses. This happens a couple times. And he's like very cordial, very friendly. He's like being polite to her. He's like, take the bed. There's nowhere to go. This is a rough neighborhood. You know, I'll sleep on the couch. Do you want that? Like, he's offering things, and she keeps denying everything. Very smart on her part. Like, the girl actually had some sense. Eventually, he wins her over. He's a fan of some work she did, which gave me super stalker vibes, and I will bring that up later. Because he was a fan of some very, like, obscure thing she did. She was like, no one's seen it. I'm sure you haven't. He was like, oh, yeah. And he, like, starts reciting stuff back to her. Wins her over. Then they start drinking, which would be a mistake, and that's where normal horror shit would happen. But it doesn't. So you get all this, and then eventually he found out he's like a very wealthy person that's looking to, I think, buy that area, correct?
Yeah,
probably like to renovate it and like flip houses and shit.
Yeah, he's totally gonna gentrify that whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay.
What I was getting.
So, she starts looking in the basement, and you see all this like shit way down there. Like, I'm talking like some stairs that go way down from the basement. They go way down, very creepy. And she's like, nope, just like nope. You know, loved it. It's like, very smart. He ends up going down there because you have to have that idiot that's like, I'm gonna go exploring, which I thought was a trap. Ends up not being a trap. He gets fucking murdered, which was a great twist. I'm talking about this dude, and it scared the missus. When he comes crawling out of the dark, she went, oh shit. And then I'm like, okay, he's literally baiting her down there. Like, I'm getting serial killer stalker vibes from the dude. He gets down there, and I'm like, all right, this is his like play area. He's gonna, you know, catch her or do something and like torture or whatever, like hostile shit. No, this naked ass, big backwoods looking inbred chick smashes his head in, and you get just like, oh shit, is he actually dead? And like, that's what the missus said for literally like 15 minutes afterwards. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's like super dead. They just psychoed his ass. Like, they just took a main guy, you know, that you're thinking is going to be a main character, and they just killed the shit out of him in probably the first 45 minutes, 30, 40. He died.
It was quick enough for you to be like, is that really happening?
Yeah,
But
which is good. I think that's really good. I like stuff like that. And then right after, you get introduced to Justin Long, who's actually the real owner of the house, and he's an idiot. He's just, Jesus Christ. Okay, there's one scene. There's a couple things I'm going to bring up because I'm going to start jumping around. If you are going down to a potentially dangerous area, Christian, right? Like, you're going into some spooky looking shit that's shady, and you have a knife, so at least you have something to protect yourself. This dude's going down there with some rolled up, like, skinny slacks and a button up shirt, like a pink button up shirt. Like, he's going down there like stylish as hell. And I'm like, why are we all dressed up to go down to get our ass kicked? Like, what are we doing? That bugged me.
I think that's just kind of how he dresses in general, because
why did we need the button up shirt to go down there? He had a t-shirt on.
Was he supposed to change into like a sweatsuit?
No, I'm saying don't wear, like, you going into a basement. Why we got to get all fancy? Go down there. I mean, you may have to get in your skimpies and brawl. What are we doing? Got to prepare for battle.
I don't fault him for that, because one, he didn't know anything about
He's a moron. He was measuring square footage in this creepy ass stuff, and as he went lower into the depths of hell, literally, you see this is more of a no-no, and this dude is still measuring damn square footage. And was like, oh hell yeah. He was an idiot. One thing I want to ask you, and Mrs. asked me this. So because Bill Skarsgård's character, I cannot remember his name, knew so much about Tess's character. Well, that's her character's name's Tess. Movie and stuff like that. Was he actually a stalker? Was that set up, like them booking together? Like, did it something that ended up backfiring on him badly, do you think? Or do you think he was just actually a good guy and this just all happened?
No, so it's kind of what you were saying earlier, and you backtracked. So essentially what it is they set it up to make you think everything is wrong with this guy, but he's actually just a good a good person to her, at least. Like
Yeah.
maybe not to that neighborhood, but to her, he's actually a good dude. I think he just happened to know her. He was legitimately asleep when she got there. It was
Yeah.
raining. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he didn't have a plan. He was just trying to get to know her more and be closer to her because he liked her. And then shit went sideways, just like in Psycho. So, like you just said, but that's the reason
It
why
is
that
definitely
works.
influenced by Psycho. I know it's a different story, different like thing, but I feel like the main like formula bones of it are very Psycho or like influenced.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so many films that you watch nowadays are influenced by another film or
Right.
several films. So yeah, for sure, for sure.
Um. So Richard Brake is a character you introduced at one point. His name's Frank.
Richard Brake, for you guys that don't know, he's in every single Rob Zombie movie ever.
Yes.
He's always in. He's like the skinny white dude who's always evil
Very
in
rough
everything.
looking. He just to put in context, if you guys have watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, he is the is it the ambulance? One of the ambulance people?
Yeah, the one that cusses like
Right.
constantly.
And it's talking about like necrophilia and shit. Kinda. He's like awful. Yeah. But that's him. Anyways, when they show him immediately, I was like, oh, well, this is not a good guy. But it's like a flashback that goes to I think the 70s. Somewhere around that time frame.
I thought it was the '60s.
Oh, was it 60s? Okay. I knew it was kind of hard for me to tell like where, but he goes and pretty much he's a serial killer. It's very obvious. He goes and buys plastic. What was it? Plastic tape and something else. And I was like, wow.
He bought plastic sheets, gloves, diapers.
Yeah, like literally it was shit that you saw and you're just like, that's no red flags, but okay, whatever. So, and you see him stalking a woman. And pretty much to kind of wrap this up a little quicker, he essentially would get these women and he would fornicate with them. You like that word, Christian? Fornicate with them. And then as they had offspring, he would also fornicate with them. And there was just like some serious Targaryen incest going on. And ultimately, that's what brought upon She-Bitch. I don't know what to call her.
In the film, she's just titled as Mother.
She's Mom?
Yeah, her name is just Mother in the credits.
Oh, well, there you go. But it made me think of like Evil Dead, the hey, She-Bitch kind of thing. But, yeah. The movie has some twists. I liked it. It got a 7.1 on IMDb, a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. I liked it. Will it be something I watch all the time? No, but if it's on, will I turn it? No, I'll probably watch it. Christian, what did you think about it? To kind of wrap this segment up. I kind of jumped around as a terrible synopsis. I didn't want to give away everything in the show, obviously, or in the movie. Gave away a huge spoiler, but like I said, it's the first 30 minutes of the movie, so you still have an hour plus to go.
For me, it's definitely worth watching, especially if you don't know anything about it. So if you listen to this and you hadn't seen it yet, I'm sorry, but it's definitely worth it. It's a good film. Out of 10, I'd probably give it a solid 8. I really did enjoy it. I liked all the acting in it. The story was good. It was a breath of fresh air. It wasn't something that you see every single day, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. It was just what I needed. And it's definitely something I'll watch again. It's definitely something I'll show people. It's definitely something I'll be talking about going
It was
forward.
good.
And I hope
definitely
that we get more.
It definitely takes you in a direction you don't really expect. Like if you don't know anything about it, you're going in, especially with the name Barbarian, how it kind of goes. You're just like, wow, okay, not really what I was expecting, but okay. Like it was. I think it was pretty good. You have a pretty decent cast. Like you got some names in there. So yeah, solid movie. Hit us with suggestions. We'd love to do this more. We'll continue to find movies and talk about them. I did go a little spoiler heavy on that one, especially for the first like 30 minutes. I kind of detoured from some of the other stuff that you will find out later on in the movie. So yeah. But yeah, that should do it for our segments, and that means it's time for the last call. That's right. So get your
pass the whiskey.
That's pass the whiskey. Pass the whiskey. I wish I sound like that. Pass the whiskey. So get your
Whiskey!
As we go into this last call. And this week's we asked Christian if he knows Candace. That's our last call question.
Who Candace is?
What? What? Christian's ignoring the shit out of me right now.
You asked me if I knew somebody named Candace. I don't know who that is.
Really? You don't know Candace? This is the question. Literally. Question is, for Christian, do you know Candace?
Who's Candace?
Candace dick fit in your mouth? Oh.
You know, now that that is done, I should have known beforehand that that's what was happening. But, you know, gullible, I guess.
Oh, Christian. Yeah, it's okay. I had to. Okay. Real question comes from Matt Sweeney this week. If you have full creative control over a character, either in film or comic, what would you come up with, and in what movie or comic? So I'm going, since we talked about Silent Hill and stuff, I'm going to say the first thing come to mind is I would like to say Trick or Treat to do more like anthology stuff, but I have a lot of faith in the writer for that, and I just want them to do more of those because I think you can do a lot of stuff with that since it's, you know, multiple stories everywhere. I'm going to say Resident Evil for me, and I'm going to nuke everything they've done, and I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to follow the damn game. And Resident Evil 1 is literally going to be the mansion. And I'm going to start from there. I'm going to follow Chris and Jill and Wesker and Barry and all that, and Stars. And I'm going to follow it way more closer to the game. Another thing that would be really fun to do would be Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve was a pretty crazy story. So I'm going kind of game route with mine. I would want to take over a game and make a better film adaptation, which Parasite Eve doesn't have a film adaptation, but, you know. I don't know if that's really what you're asking, but, or really even a character. I would just take over a franchise. How about that? And start. And I would make the characters more like the characters that we know. Christian, what about you?
I thought the question was like if you could do anything with like your own character or whatever. But if we're going off of like franchises and stuff, I mean, easy slam dunk for me is just to I would make a God of War show. I would make a mature animated series, kind of like in the vein of like Castlevania, like I was saying earlier. And I would have that come out, and I would have it be the first three games, and then once the first three games are over and we get into God of War from 2018, at that point, then I would either switch to it being live action, or I would keep it animated but just change the animation style a little bit to make it fit more the North style essentially. And I would do something like that, and it would follow the games as closely as I could. I'll probably have to change a few things because obviously you don't want to watch Kratos solve puzzles and shit. But
Hell yeah, you do.
that's what I would do. But if it's something for me on my own accord, then I gotta say, man, I would make up some new shit for werewolves. Like we haven't gotten a lot.
So
If
wait, so
werewolf
what? How did
fans,
you interpret the question? I probably took it in the wrong direction.
yeah, well,
You're saying
the
like
way
make
that
a
I
whole new character,
the
someone
way
that's
that I
not
got it
on something
was
currently.
the way that I got the question was essentially just a if you had full creative control to make something yourself, what would it be? Whether that's a movie or a comic. So if I were going to make a movie, what I would do is I would do some new werewolf stuff. I would change the lore around. I would make it a little bit more fantastical, but also keep the horror elements for that in it. I would change around the mechanics of how lichens work and what causes them to change, how they change, all that stuff. And I would have a comic series to accompany the show or movies that I would make. I would do that, and that's what I would do. And I have my own spin on the werewolf lore, and just branch out from that. Because that's not happening a lot right now. We got vampires still. There's really no werewolf stuff. I mean, I know we got Werewolf by Night from Marvel, but like that's a Wolfman type werewolf, and I want to do something a little bit more than that.
Okay.
And I would love to be able to have the time and money and experience from other writers and whatnot to just expand that world out and make werewolves cool as fuck again, man. Like I miss that, and that's
I would also do a werewolf if we're doing that, just because I love werewolves. They're my favorite like supernatural thing.
already said it, so you can't do
Well,
that. You gotta do
mine
something
would
else.
not be fantastical. Mine would be like dark and gritty as shit. Like you can just get off of it. They're not here sparkling or
You don't
whatever
know.
you're
You
trying
don't
to do
know.
with the
You don't know what
werewolf.
fantastical is, though. You don't know what I mean by that. Like
You're
when I
gonna
say
make them sparkle
fantastical, I
like
mean like
Twilight. I know what you're doing.
essentially I would want the story to be able to be branched out as much as I can. Like I wouldn't want it to be stuck in, oh, it's a gritty dark tale about this guy who's a werewolf and he's killing people and he's a visceral motherfucker, but then he gets shot in the face and the movie's over and we're done. Like, no, I want
He's not
something
getting shot in the face.
bigger.
Mine.
I want
Talking about.
something bigger than that. I want to expand this universe. I want to make this something that people talk about for years to come. It's not just one movie. You can't, this story is something that you can't just make one film out of. It's so big, it's so bombastic that you need time to craft a world around this shit.
I bet
That's what
Candace
I
will be
want.
in that movie too.
Probably in yours, yeah, for sure, because it's dark and gritty, right?
Mine's dark and edgy. You can deal with it. Fantastical. My werewolves would sparkle.
Actually, my werewolves don't sparkle. They're called lichens.
I swear,
and they're
if you
cool.
ever come at me with a story and like, hey, I got a werewolf and he sparkles in the moonlight, I'd be like, Christian, I swear to God, just go run your head into a
Actually,
door right
my
now.
werewolves sparkle in the moonlight. They worship a moon goddess, and that's how they
Oh,
got their
Jesus.
powers.
I'm done
And
with you.
it's amazing. And I'll tell you what, listeners, everybody listening to this, sound off in the comments for any of the social medias that you follow us on, and let me know whose werewolf story sounds cooler, mine or Sin's. And be honest, because I want to know.
Mine's gonna be a dark, visceral story, but mine also has a lot going on because there's a big, like, yeah.
There's a big dick in it. I know.
No. We're not talking about proportions when they turn to a werewolf. We're talking about freaking. There's other supernatural beings at play there, and there's like.
Oh, so now your story is ever expanding and fantastic.
Well, you didn't let me finish. You just said mine's fantastical, and they are bedazzled, and one of them's named Jacob.
What I said was mine's better than yours.
And this is how you get us into an argument over nothing. Okay, so literally, as we don't even have like ground for our stories are just like basic, whatever. All right, so yeah, I would do werewolf though. Werewolf is my favorite stuff. If I didn't do werewolf, I would do a vampire story, but my vampires would be very similar to 30 Days a Night, but honestly, it would still incorporate werewolves, and they would be at war because I love the 30 Days a Night vampires. I love that Predator style. And, dude, that'd be so sick. So, yeah. Before Christian starts arguing that. That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you all being here. If you'd like your question to be featured on Last Call Questions so you can get us to argue like we just did, then check out the Gilded server, gilded.gg/Sinister pack in the application put from the podcast. There's lots of topics there. There's different game channels where you can talk about the games or link up and play games with other people, as well as the Sippin With Sin section solely for the podcast. You have channels in there such as episode chat, topic suggestions, drinks where you can show us what you've been sipping on, Last Call Question where you can post your question for us to have it featured in an episode. Also, you have the Sinister Tales section where you can post personal horror stories, scary stories, stuff and things. Shut up, Christian. And things that go bump in the night from the internet, as well as Christian's Corner, where you can talk to him about comics, art, music, and movies. Also, follow Sippin With Sin on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin. Drop us some love there. You can also DM us your last call question there. You can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram at IamSinisterTV. You can find me streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/IamSinisterTV, Facebook Gaming, fb.gg/IamSinisterTV, and TikTok at IamSinisterTV. You can come check me out over there. Talk to me. Tell me you're from the podcast. Love to hear from you. Or hit me up, DM me, hit me up with the last call question, or just talk to me about the episode. Love to hear from you. Every new episode comes out on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Central Time. Every week, new episode, Spotify, Apple, Google, Overcast, Anchor.fm, all this stuff, as well as the video version comes out on my personal YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister, 8 a.m. Central Time, video version every week, every Wednesday. Christian, where can the folks find you and your fantastical werewolf self?
Currently on Horrorverse Pod. I've been on there quite a bit. I've been on the Twitter a lot. I've been on the Instagram, so you guys can find me over there. Horrorverse Pod at all socials. All one word, by the way.
And if you're having trouble finding them, we did tag them in something trying to send people their way on Twitter. So definitely go show them some love. They have new episodes, Horrorverse Pod, every Tuesday. Tuesday. So go show them some love. Tuesdays for them. Wednesdays for us. Rate them both 5 stars. Share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Share with your friends and
Guys,
everyone.
come say hi. Every Tuesday we're talking about a new horror film. We take a deep dive into that film, talk about our experiences with it. Let us know what you think about our experiences. Come say hi.
And he's going to tell you how fantastical it is. That's his word of the day. Fantastical. He's ignored me. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate you all. Everybody have a great one. Thanks for getting us here. We're 30-something episodes in. I don't even know how many at this point. But, yeah, it's been a good ride. And we'll see you guys next week. All right, Christian, it's time to shut it down and tell everybody to go home.
Thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of Sipping with Sin. Be sure to leave a 5-star review, smash that like button, and leave your recommendations in the comment section below. But most importantly, guys, I'm going to leave you with 3 words, 3 of the most important words you'll ever hear for the rest of your life. You have to follow this like it is the end of your life. And those 3 words are, don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.